We don't want to have fear of the judgment that is inevitable. Nobody cares more than you. Program you to be a certain way. Miserable life. Society in and of itself is very judgmental. That's why you see millions of people swarming to get the same procedures, because inevitably we all want to be loved. It's something that Beyonce probably even deals with. I'm telling you this because I love you. But the fact that you're here, this is beautiful work. This is great work, and I'm proud of you.
I'm gonna have a good day, even if it don't go my way. I'm in flow, I'm okay. I'm expressing the best of me.
I'm gonna have a good day, even if it don't go my way. I'm in flow, I'm okay. I'm expressing the best of me. Y'all, if you love that intro music, that is Good Day by Shariya Wise, that I intentionally wrote to help you have the best possible day every day, and not because some miracle is happening, although life is a miracle, because you are naturally training your subconscious mind and your nervous system to show up to life with peace, love, grace, joy, abundance, flow, remembering that everything is happening for your best and highest good. So despite whatever's happening in your 3D reality, you keep an internal state of being of peace, calm, love, abundance, and flow. And you manifest it super easily and subconsciously by listening to the song. Stream Good Day by Shariya Wise. Welcome to episode 5 of the Affirmation Station Podcast. Here we have how vibrations, love, liberation, communication, and conscious conversation. Yes, ma'am. Here we crystallize our waters and speak divinity into our being. I am your host, Shariya Wise. I'm a being who creates to inspire high vibrational living. So as I actively create my perception of heaven on earth, I share what I can, and we evolve, grow, and get better together. Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much for being here and creating this moment with me. If you are experiencing me audibly, welcome. Thank you so much for lending me your ears. And if you are here watching me audibly, what's up? You see the vibe. You have a little bit of a new aesthetic. It's the slightest difference, but I have now a beautiful pompous hair. So I just wanted to give a little bit more luxe, a little bit more grown and sexy, a little bit more simplistic luxury, minimalistic luxury. You know what I'm saying? And I think the pompous is like the perfect addition to my living room, kitchen kind of area, you guys. So let me know how you guys like it. And of course, before we get into today's conversation, we have to thank our amazing sponsor, Miss Universe, always keeping us abundant, always keeping us provided for, always reminding us that we are supported and everything is happening for our best and highest good. So we have the ability to keep peace of mind, keeping us well, keeping us healthy, keeping us strong, keeping us fit, keeping us healthy, mind, body, and spirit. Thank you so much, Universe. Yes, ma'am. So one of our amazing sisters in the Wise Tribe broadcast channel asked an amazing question, and we're going to answer it today. The question is, how do we get over the fear of judgment and what people will think about us? I paraphrased it a bit, but that was the question, and I think that's a phenomenal question, and let's talk about it. I feel like I'm someone who can definitely talk about this topic because I came from a very judgmental background, a very judgmental upbringing, not in the sense that they were bad people, the people that were raising me, that were judging me. More so, this is the way that they felt they had to prepare me for life. And so the byproduct of that was me experiencing a lot of judgmental behavior. But I'm here now, and I don't care what nobody think about me. So let's talk about it. Set an alarm for 22 minutes, please.
22 minutes starting now.
Okay, so let me be real. I know I just said that I don't care what nobody thinks about me, and that is the state of being that I work to embody every day. But just like everyone else, I feel the pressure of being perceived, because that's inevitably what it is. It's a fear of being perceived. And of course, this fear is molded into our subconscious and nervous system, and that's the reason that we may have a norm of wondering or caring too much about how we are being perceived, how people are judging us. What are they thinking about me right now? That is totally normal, okay? So with me saying, I don't care what people think about me, of course, that's the goal. You know what I'm saying? And for the most part, I've really worked to get myself to a state of being where I have such high self-esteem and I walk with so much purpose in my life. And also, I just know that my heart posture is always back straight, chin up. My heart posture is always solid in every action I take, and every thought that I have for someone or action that I take towards or for someone. It's always with the best intentions and the right heart posture. So with me consciously knowing that, I have trained myself to feel more calm in me just expressing my authentic self despite what other people may think about me. In addition to that, every human being has an ego, right? So even the most amazing, intended, best heart postured person naturally is going to judge another person. But the thing is, anyone who is judging anyone is judging that person based on the lens they perceive life, based on their own biases and their own thought processes and how they may perceive life, right? So I think it's important for me to share some of my personal experiences that I've overcome and healed from where I have been judged. And I'm a very sensitive person. I used to be very gullible. I used to be a severe people pleaser. And so the judgments and perceptions and thoughts of other people really swayed me in how I perceived life, because being a people pleaser, you really care a lot about how people perceive you and how people judge you, right? And so it created a norm within me to put myself in a box into what I thought would be acceptable to how someone else perceived me, so that I could be perceived by them how I desire to be perceived, because I always just wanted to be loved. I always just wanted to be liked. So for example, growing up, I had the type of family that poke fun at you as jokes, you know what I'm saying? And of course it was still a projection of their own insecurities, but regardless how they perceived it, and I'm aware and conscious enough to know this now, they genuinely perceived these jabs as jokes. For example, I would get consistent teasing about my weight. I was always a chubbier girl, and sidebar, I really don't even think that I was as chubby as I thought I was. I think I manifested some of my chubbiness because I would always be told about my weight. I would always be told that I had to lose weight. I would always be called fat, things like that by the family that raised me. So that made me feel like I was bigger than I was. But I remember recently looking at a picture of when I vividly remember being so freaking huge, and I was not that big. I was just a child. It was crazy. And that is the byproduct of being someone who was super sensitive in a judgmental household. So if you can relate, you are in the perfect space. Or anyone that is looking for a space and a way to really just get over judgment, get over the fear of being perceived, get over caring so much about what other people think about you, you are in the perfect space, okay? So I had significant key players that raised me in my life that would tell me pretty consistently that my sister was prettier than me, that I was fat, that I had to lose weight. If I was eating something past a certain time, I would be told, no, you can't eat this. But then I would get food taken away from me. I would be told that I couldn't eat a certain thing, but then watch someone else that was thinner than me at the time being allowed to eat something, or even literally given what I had for myself given to that other person. That all created a lot of low self-esteem, people pleaser mentality, a lot of self-consciousness in my state of being. And that people pleaser mentality inevitably was me wanting to always be liked, wanting to be loved, really, wanting to be accepted, wanting to be acknowledged, wanting to be good enough, and me having a default state of being of hyper fixating on what other people were thinking about me. Miserable life. Miserable life, okay? I don't wish it for you. I don't wish it for my worst enemy. We all deserve to really live life authentically with the conscious knowing that people with ego, and mind you, every person on this earth has an ego, right? Even if someone has an ego death, or they have the power and ability to curb their ego, they still have an ego, right? We all deserve to live in the state of being where we consciously know this person may judge me, that person may judge me, and the judgments may not always be nice and loving, but I'm still gonna be authentically me. I'm gonna be all of me. I deserve to be all of me. Yes, ma'am? This is what we're talking about today. Let's start with the root cause of it. The root cause is a subconscious programming. Even if you had the most supportive players in your life that raised you, society in and of itself is very judgmental. The media and what is portrayed in mainstream media is very judgmental. There's a certain standard that everyone wants to be. So if you happen to not fit in the mold of that small ass standard, then it would be super normal for you to feel a bit of self-consciousness or worrying about how you're being perceived, knowing that there is a beauty standard and mind you, it don't have to be your beauty standard, but we're talking about mainstream media, right? There is a beauty standard. Not that it's right or wrong, but it is what it is. There's a beauty standard. That's why you see millions of people swarming to get the same procedures, because inevitably we all want to be loved. Inevitably we all want to be accepted. We all want to feel beautiful. And if we are someone who plays into mainstream's beauty standard, then it's actually normal that so many people are going to get this and going to get that and going to do this here and put this there. It's normal. Not that it's right or wrong, but it makes sense in a world that is made to program you to be a certain way. Majority of people don't even have the conscious awareness that they are being programmed. They are just moving with life. And no hate, no shade or anything like that, but the fact that you're here, this is beautiful work. This is great work and I'm proud of you, okay? It starts as a subconscious programming, right? And this could be programmed from whatever reason, for whatever reason, at any time, okay? Majority of time, our core subconscious beliefs happen when we are children and teenagers, right? But we can always reprogram, right? So it doesn't necessarily have to only be a program that was instilled in you at that time. It could be from any time. You know, maybe we had an emotionally charged moment where it really ingrained in our subconscious mind, and the byproduct could perhaps be self-consciousness. So now we have the conscious knowing that the reason that we are fearing judgment, or the reason that we can acknowledge within ourselves that we are having too much focus outside of ourselves and how we're being perceived, and we're giving too much energy and focus to that, the first thing is the awareness of it. So let's talk about how you're going to heal this and how I have healed this and will continue to heal this. First, we have a conscious knowing. Okay, I have a conscious knowing that in this moment, I was feeling self-conscious. I was really worried about how those people were perceiving me. I was worrying about if they were judging me, what they were thinking about me. Okay, bet. I acknowledge that I was feeling that way, and I have awareness on what their awareness is on when it pertains to me. Acknowledge it. Bet. So after we have the acknowledgement, and I want to emphasize that this can work in any scenario, right? Job interview. That's normal for you to worry about if what they're thinking about you when you're dating, or if you're getting to know someone new in a platonic sense, if you're networking in business, if you're going on your first solo date. It really doesn't matter. This is going to help us express the most authentic version of ourselves, despite who's around us, despite who's perceiving us, okay? Despite the scenario. So we have that conscious knowing. The first thing we're going to do is just acknowledge it and give ourselves grace. I bet. Because mind you, we're never going to make ourselves feel bad for worrying about or even having awareness of how someone is perceiving us, because it's normal. It's something that everyone deals with. It's something that Beyonce probably even deals with. It's normal. It's a human thing. You know what I'm saying? So if you're human, you've dealt with this. So now we have that conscious knowing, and we've given grace and acknowledgement to that feeling. Okay, I see you. Now what we're going to do is remind ourselves that, hey, this fear of judgment, it doesn't really matter where it's stemming from, but it could be stemming from a version of you that was molded to feel self-conscious by society, a version of you that was always judged when you were younger, a version of you that maybe you didn't always do your best on your math test, and that version of you is popping up to say, hey, you may not do your best this time. And I also want to emphasize that it could be all of these versions of you that is presenting the fear. But also remember that we judge ourselves too. So we've acknowledged and gave grace to the feeling. Perfect, okay? Having the conscious knowing is a first step, but we have to train our bodies and our subconscious programming that it is now safe for us to express ourselves as authentically as possible, despite knowing that people are going to judge us. It's normal to be judged. It's normal for you to have judgment, okay? And I'm going to keep emphasizing that, right? But we don't want to have fear of the judgment that is inevitable. Now listen, our main fear in judgment happens all in our minds, okay? Yes, people are judging you. People are judging me. People are judging each other. You're judging someone. It could be a good judgment or a bad judgment, however you perceive it. You've judged someone. You've probably judged someone quite recently, okay? It's something that we all do, and we don't have to shy away from the fact that judgment is a thing, right? Everyone has an opinion. Everyone is entitled to their opinion. So just like everyone is entitled to their opinion and their perception and how they may be judging a person or a moment, you are entitled to your authentic self-expression. You are entitled to feeling fearless. You are entitled to having high self-esteem. You are entitled to being all that you can be. You are entitled to expressing all that you can so that you can attract all that you can. You are entitled to the freedom of being you. You are entitled to the freedom of expressing every part of you. You're entitled to that as well. People walk around with entitlements every day. Have some entitlement, okay? And how we have that entitlement is by teaching ourselves that it is safe for us to have entitlement. It is safe for us to take up enough space to feel entitled, to express who we naturally are without suppressing it, without fitting ourselves into a mold, without masking, because that's a big norm. That's a huge norm, especially if you're someone who's neurodivergent. Masking is a huge thing. We have stems, we have things that are not typical. You know what I'm saying? We're not neurotypical, right? And how you take full advantage of the entitlement that you deserve is by training yourself to take advantage of the entitlement that you deserve. And not entitlement outside of yourself. Not entitlement where you are degrading or hurting anyone outside of yourself or yourself. Okay, I want to emphasize that. Entitlement in knowing that in your body, you can be all of you. And so because you are all of you in your body, you naturally express all of you more freely without the fear of judgment. Okay, so let's talk about how we're going to actually do that. First, remind yourself, nobody cares more than you. There's always media being thrown at literally everyone all the time. If you have a phone, if you are watching me right now, there is media being thrown at you all the time, okay? Our minds are super overstimulated with constant media, constant news, constant energy, okay? Coming at us at all times. So yes, something you may do may be entertaining, may be funny, may be what you perceive to be embarrassing. Something you may do may trigger that feeling in someone else for no more than 5 minutes. Because just like something you could have done may have triggered that response or reaction or judgment in someone else, we have like hundreds of that coming to us at one time. You're not that special. Just as much as you are special, you're really not that special. When I say you, I'm talking to me. So please don't take this personal. I'm talking to you because I'm your sister right now, or I'm your auntie, whichever one works best for you. Yes, ma'am? But I'm always going to be real with you. No one is thinking about you more than you. And I know you probably know this. I know you've probably heard this, but it's good for your sis, your auntie, to remind you right now. No one is thinking about you more than you're thinking about yourself. And you thinking about other people thinking about you is putting yourself in your own self-imposed imprisonment. Okay, I'm telling you this because I love you. So every time you have a feeling of, oh, I don't know, I'm nervous, I'm scared to post it, feel that nervousness and remind yourself that you are stopping yourself, okay? You are too focused on outside of the people outside of you, right? And I know this is easier said than done. So I have another tip. I want you to think of the person you trust the most, the person whose opinion you value the most, right? Even if that person said something to you, favorable or unfavorable, if they gave you constructive criticism, fact or false, what have you, even their opinion is coming from how they perceive life. Their opinion, their judgments, their criticism, constructive or not, is coming from their projection of themselves onto you. They are projecting their own increase or limitations on you. And when we're talking about the people closest to us, because This is where I had to heal. Of course, I still wanted everyone that I didn't even know around me to like me and love me and just perceive the best version of me. More so, even with me desiring that from the people that I didn't really know, it gets that much deeper when it's the people that you love the most, and they love you the most likely, right? They probably love you just as much as you love them. These people love you and want the best for you. They want you to be safe, right? So a lot of times these judgments, it doesn't even have to be something that's coming from a place of malice or a place of negativity. It could genuinely be from a place of love. It could genuinely be coming from a place of love. But if someone lives in fearful states of being, they live in a fearful love. You know what I'm saying? They perceive love in fearful ways. They want to keep you safe because maybe they perceive life to be more scary, more full of fear, more full of bad than good. You know, they may see the cup half empty rather than half full, and so they want to keep you safe. So now with that conscious knowing, that allows us to have more grace for people around us who are inevitably judging and perceiving us, right? It's very important to not internalize or personalize everything for that reason. Everyone is going to judge from their perspective and scope of life. It's normal. It should be expected. So consciously knowing that allows us to have grace for the people around us, right? And now that we've given grace to the people around us for the inevitable judgments that may be projected onto us, we then have to always come into an introspective space. We have to train our subconscious programming and our nervous system to show up unapologetically. Recite affirmations that are going to help you release the fear of perception, release the fear of being judged, and embody the most unapologetic and authentic version and expression of yourself. So let's say some affirmations together. I am expressing the best of me despite how I am being perceived. I am okay with being perceived because people's perceptions will happen inevitably and naturally. I stand confident in my most authentic expression of myself. Every day I feel more confident to show up as the best of me. I am allowing my light to shine. I am allowing myself to shine bright. I deserve to be seen. I deserve to take up space. My presence is a blessing. I am worthy of living a full life. I am worthy of creating my own perception of heaven on earth. And I want to emphasize that a part of experiencing your perception of heaven on earth is being authentically and freely and unapologetically all of you, the fullest version of you. I am the fullest version of myself. I express the fullest version of myself. I express all of myself unapologetically. I remove, release, and eradicate gracefully any fear and resistance in my body of expressing the best of me, of expressing all of me. I know that judgment is a part of life, and so I don't fear it. I embrace it. Just because someone may judge me doesn't mean their judgment is right or wrong, fact or false. It is what it is, and I am okay with being perceived. I feel safe being perceived because I feel safe in my body. I enter and understand that the people I love most likely love me too, and that is why they have perceptions and judgments of me. With me knowing that, I give them love and I give them grace and allow them to perceive what they want to perceive. Every day I remind myself how safe I am to express all of me. I embrace the judgment and perception of others unbiasedly without internalizing it, okay? We want to make sure that we're speaking life over ourselves every morning so that we can program our mind when our mind is most malleable to these new ideas. Our subconscious mind is most malleable to these new ideas. We have to speak these things over ourselves. We have to release the resistance. We have to release the resistance of expressing our most unapologetic selves. We have to release the fear, and we do that by speaking over ourselves, by practicing forms of mindfulness. Of course, affirmations isn't even the only way that we do this for ourselves, right? But it's super important that every day you make it a habit, a norm, a ritual to speak your desired reality and state of being over yourself. Be real with yourself and analyze where you may be vibrationally. Where are your thoughts right now? Are you feeling a little self-conscious? No worries. That's not a problem at all. Give yourself a hug. Give yourself love, because there's a version of you that created that norm to feel self-conscious in a particular moment. Okay, now what we're doing is showing that version of ourselves that it is now safe to release the fear. You know what I'm saying? Release the burden of fear and step into all of you, okay? And it happens gradually with consistency, okay? I've been on this journey consistently speaking life, speaking my state of being over my life every day, multiple times a day, and especially the first thing I do in the day before I interact with anyone, before I get on any social medias or anything. I am programming my mind. I've been doing this for the last 5 going on 6 years consecutively, consistently, daily, every day. Now I get to experience this new version of me, but I started when I was not this version of me. I started when I had the idea of being this version of me who really doesn't care about being perceived anymore. I used to be so afraid of putting I sing well, and I'm not being a typical Leo. This is not me being a typical Leo, okay? I can sing. Growing up, I had people that I loved, who I valued the opinion of so much, tell me that I can't sing. And I won't use the exact words that were used, but I was blatantly told that I couldn't sing. You know what I'm saying? When I would sing, I was yelled to shut up. You know what I'm saying? And whether they understood the impact of their actions or not, me being judged as a child really stopped me from singing for so long. I love to sing and I'm good at it. I was the choir kid, okay? And that, I didn't realize it, right? But for me experiencing that judgment, that created a norm in my body to shut my throat chakra down. So the only time I really sang at my best was when I was by myself and when no one could hear me. I would experience so much anxiety and overstimulation in my mind and in my body when it was time for me to sing in front of people. And so because of that, I wasn't hitting notes that I know I could hit. And I done been hit mad times. I wasn't really switching registers as smoothly, and I know I could do this. I wasn't hitting the notes in the right keys. I have perfect pitch, okay? But the thing is, because I had so much fear ingrained in my body from me experiencing that as a child, I would mess myself up. I would psych myself out in being able to perform with my singing capabilities to the best of my capabilities, right? And I had a switch in my mind when I realized, oh, it's because you've been told to shut up every time you sang, that every time you get in front of someone or even get on the mic, it was to the point where I would even be recording my own music, and just because I consciously know that I'm going to be sharing my voice with other people, just that conscious knowing would mess me up with my singing. And it's just like, I could really sing down, but it wasn't expressed because my body was filled with fear. So what did I have to do? I had to start telling myself, I sing my best in front of people. I started saying this affirmation years ago, and now I finally feel in my body how it is becoming tangible. My body and my mind is finally, after 5 entire years of saying this affirmation, 5 years later, my body and my mind finally feel true, full safety in me just singing and singing to the best of my ability, despite who's around me, despite who's perceiving me. I'm doing what I know I'm good at doing. I'm expressing all of me to the best of my abilities, and I'm not allowing the fear to interfere. But I trained myself to reprogram that new norm into my nervous system and subconscious. It took years. And the affirmation that I would say was, I sing my best in front of people. I sing my best when I am performing for other people. I sing my best when I know that people can hear me. I started saying those affirmations daily, consecutively. Now I could get on live and just sing. But I had to train myself. I had to train myself to release the norm of worrying about or having too much awareness on how I'm being perceived by someone outside of myself. Your energy is a gift. How you express yourself, that is a gift that needs to be received by other people. Your light, your personality, your voice, your looks, whatever it may be, your sense of style, your aesthetic, whatever it is about you is needed. And you wouldn't have that passion within you. You wouldn't have the talent within you naturally if it wasn't for you to use as a vessel. You are the vessel. You were giving this light. You were given the voice. You were given whatever makes you special. You were given that so that everyone around you can be blessed by the energy of you. And so it is in our best interest to train ourselves to get over this fear. We have to train ourselves. It's not going to happen overnight. You know, some people resonate more with prayer than affirmations. But you are still training yourself, training your default nervous system and subconscious programmings to feel safe expressing all of you, despite who's around, despite who's judging you, because you already know people are going to judge you anyway. Don't allow yourself to stop yourself, because once you have the conscious knowing that you are stopping yourself because of fear that you are in alignment with, you are vibrationally aligned to the fear. Now that you know that when you feel fear, you are vibrationally aligning with fear, you have the free will to now train yourself to vibrate on a frequency that is so far removed from fear that you are naturally just all of you. You deserve that. You deserve that, baby. I promise you that. There's a lot more that I can talk about, to be honest. There's a whole lot more that I can talk about. So maybe we'll do a part 2, or maybe I'll do an extended version. If there is an extended version to this video, it'll definitely be linked down in the description on my YouTube channel on the video experience of this podcast episode, okay? Because I don't want this video to get too long, but the way that I have so many tips on releasing fear of being perceived, fear of judgment. I have a CVS list, child. I can go on, but with the intention of not making this video too long, we're gonna stop it right there. I hope some of the affirmations that I shared with you really resonate, and then you take some of those affirmations and add it to your arsenal, okay? Consciously remember that everyone's judgment is a projection of how they perceive life. Consciously remember that everyone is judging, including you, including me. Consciously remember that it is so normal to be judged. Consciously remember that not every judgment is bad. Consciously remember that with you being judged, you have the free will to train yourself to be unapologetic to the point where you know you're being judged, you know you're being perceived by people you love and people you don't know, but you still know that you deserve to express all of you, and so you express all of you. Consciously remember that you have to train yourself to have that state of being. It's not something that happens overnight when you are molded to be self-conscious. And even if you didn't have, like I said earlier, even if you didn't have people around you that were, and let's talk about how self-conscious parenting creates self-conscious kids that grow up and have kids and become self-conscious parents that have self-conscious kids. Somewhere along the line, the cycle has to break, right? But you don't necessarily have to have been the person that had the self-conscious parents that taught you how to be self-conscious. Society will teach you how to be self-conscious. Society, the school system, beauty standards, our media enforces the vibration of fear and self-conscious and beauty standards and seeking validation outside of ourselves. It's a norm that should not be normalized, but unfortunately it is. But it does not have to be your norm. Clearly it doesn't have to be your norm, because you are here doing the damn thing, and I'm so proud of you, and I want to give you your props. I want to give you kudos, okay? Listen, we're going to end this video here. I may do a part 2 a few episodes down the line. Let me know if that's something you guys would want. Or when I have more ideas, would you guys prefer me to just release an extended version that you guys can go ahead and get the link to if that's in alignment for you? Which vibe would work best for us moving forward? We're creating the Affirmation Station Podcast norms and style and aesthetic together. I'm learning as I go, and I'm so grateful that you are here vibing with me and flowing with me as we learn this new community together, okay? If you're still here, you already know you are definitely a part of the Affirmation Station Nation. And I would love for you to join the Wise Tribe. The Wise Tribe is my personal community outside of the Affirmation Station, okay? Including the Affirmation Station, but also with more things than just the Affirmation Station. We have wellness, we have high vibrational music, okay? We have high vibrational lifestyle content, okay? That's in alignment. Join the Wise Tribe broadcast channel over on my Instagram is Shariya Wise. That is SHARIYAWISE. Follow me there. Also, that's the same handle for all of my platforms. So if you want to follow me on TikTok, I'm getting my Pinterest together. If you want to follow me on Snapchat, if you want to follow me on Facebook, I'm also getting my Snapchat and Facebook together as well. But my main platforms as of right now are YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. So if you want to vibe with me there, that is Shariya Wise on all platforms. But on my Instagram channel, we do have the Wise Tribe broadcast channel, okay? This podcast topic today was actually picked by one of our sisters in the broadcast channel. I'm also just sharing some more personal things that I wouldn't be sharing on my regular feed over on the broadcast channel. And also I have the link to the Wise Tribe Discord family that I am actively in the process of building and creating. And the Wise Tribe broadcast channel is also where I drop the links for the Wise Tribe family Discord, okay? It gets more personal in there. I'm in the process of actively building more of an intentional, tighter knit family, okay? I want us to be more of a family, and that's where the Discord is. I'm actively creating more intention in there over in the Discord, but in the meantime, what I'm doing right now is gathering the Wise Tribe family, okay? So if you are someone who really resonates with my content, my music, my creations, my digital products, everything that I create, if that's something that really resonates with your spirit, reminding you that I am someone who creates to inspire high vibrational living. So as I actively create my perception of heaven on earth, because heaven is on earth, and don't let them tell you that it's not. I share what I can. We evolve, grow, and get better together. And I create so many things, but everything I create is to help all of us embody and perceive and live in our perception of heaven on earth. Okay, because we are souls experiencing life on earth, and we get to choose how we want to live life. You ever heard of the terminology two earths? Yeah, one is heaven, one is hell. We are aligning with our heavenly perspectives and perceptions and vibrations, right? So if that's in alignment, if you want to just be one of the first people that are joining the Discord, definitely go ahead into the broadcast channel, find the Discord link. I always tend to just post it here and there because it does expire after a while. Go ahead and add yourself there, because as we add more value to the Discord family, we are going to be putting a paywall up. So get in now while it's free. Okay, you guys? I love y'all so much. But anyway, you guys, what's up? Let me know what we're thinking about the ideas that I shared in today's video. This is literally just a droplet of the amount of experience I've done with healing myself, healing my people pleaser mentality, healing my self-consciousness, healing just always wanting to be loved so much but not loving myself enough. Okay, because once you really love yourself unapologetically, unconditionally, it really doesn't even matter how other people outside of you are perceiving you. Of course, you know, we want to be loved, we want to be liked, we want to be perceived in the best light. But when we're moving with the best heart posture, and we consciously know that we are doing our best and we're giving 100%, remembering that 100% is going to look different every day, right? But we are giving 100% of everything we have with the best intentions of love and light for all parties involved. What we're gonna do? We're being judged. Okay, I know that I was moving in love. I know that I was moving in light. I know that I was moving with the best possible intentions for that person or for that scenario. You know what? I'm definitely thinking that we may have a few more videos down the line just speaking on this. This is an ongoing conversation, you guys. And in that, remember that we're human and we deserve to be unapologetic. We deserve that. That is our birthright. And with willpower, we can have that, because most of us were not instilled with that programming. Okay, you guys? So if there's anything that you would like to share, please leave it down in the comment section if you are viewing me on YouTube, or if the platform that you are experiencing this podcast episode on today offers a way for you to physically type a response, to give feedback, to share your experiences, to share some tips that you may have in really releasing and healing the fear of being perceived, the fear of judgment, the fear of worrying about what people gonna think about us, the fear of being people pleasers. Okay, not the fear of being people pleasers, but the act, the embodiment, the state of being of people pleaser mentality. Okay, you guys, share with us. And if you want to connect with the podcast, we are Affirmation Station Podcast on Instagram and Affirmation Station Pod on TikTok. You guys, I'm so excited and grateful because I just relaunched my high vibrational boutique, illuminatelifecompany.com. There we have apparel and products that really help us express and wear our divinity proudly, okay? It's intentional products that help us raise and maintain a high vibration. Yes, ma'am? So if that's in alignment, definitely go check out illuminatelifecompany.com and use code WISETRIBE for 15% off. Thank you so much for creating and sharing space with me today on episode 5 of the Affirmation Station Podcast. I am your host, Shariya Wise, and I will see you in the next episode.